can go on mute, Riona. That way, yes, perfect. Yeah, I will ask you to, ask you to unmute at the right moment, not at this time, but yes. So just give me a second, okay? Go on mute, Riona. That way, okay, don't worry about that. So looks like we're sharing something which is this. Do you see, a screen with Jai Jinendra on it, Riona? And I see Manit joining as well. Okay, so I'll get started now. We start the class with Jai Jinendra to all. Whenever we see a Jaini, a Sangh member, then we do a Jai Jinendra, and then we start with a Naukar mantra. Okay, so I see Manit starting as well. Let's do a quick Naukar mantra, and then we'll do our first interesting story today. We are starting with a story today, so that's awesome, right? This is always better than starting with a lecture. And we don't have any lecture today. We have actually two stories that we are going to cover, but do pay attention, okay? Because there are questions, there are important information bites in that lecture, and once you go through it, you have to give a quiz, you have to do a puzzle. So remember some names that come in the stories that will help you in getting 10 on 10 and 5 on 5 in the quizzes. Okay. And I'll be very happy if you get that. Okay. So let's get going. Jai Jinendra. Namo Arihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo
Namo
Buddhaya.
Namo
Namo
Loe
Sabasahuram. Esu Kansnokaro.
Sava Pava Panashano Mangala Sauvesim Padhamam Havai Mangalam. Jai Jinendra to all. Now you can go on mute. Let me start the story, the first story, and this is story about a Muni. Okay. Now I don't know if you attended the last the session, but we covered the Chatur with Sang. Okay. Now what is a Chatur with Sang? I'll give you a brief primer on it. Chatur, the word, the letter or word Chatur in Hindi and Sanskrit means four. Okay, it signifies four. And Chatur Vidh Sang, it's a term used for the Digambar Jain Sangh. Okay, and when we say four, that means it comprises of four different types of sadhus. Now, one more person joined us here, and that's Aishna, who's sitting next to me. She's my daughter. She is 8 year old and will be, learning with us. So four, okay. So the first one is Muni, right? The Digambar Muni. Okay, we always do Namostu to them. What do we say? Bow our
Namostu.
head and we say Namostu. The second one is Arika Mataji, who are the female sadhus. Okay, they are always white clad. They carry a pichi, the peacock broom to wipe off the any type of
Insect.
organisms and insects. And they also carry, exactly right, Ashna, they also carry a kamandal. Kamandal is like their pot made up of a natural occurring substance, a sort of a fruit made out of a fruit, big fruit, of course. And it's used to carry lukewarm, that is slightly warm water, which has already been boiled. They use that water to do any kind of cleaning, like wipe, their cleaning their feet before they move from one place to another, and likewise. Okay, and they change that water every 6 hours, Krishna? Yes, because after 6 hours the organisms start coming up in the water again. So they boil it. It's a filtered water, chana hua pani, and which has been um, boiled and then put in that kamandal. But it's lukewarm. It's not super hot when it's used. So that's that. So that's Arika Mataji. So Sadhu uh, first starts with Muni, then we have Arika Mataji. We do Vandami to Arika Mataji. What do we say bowing our head? Vandami. And then the third one in the sequence is our Ellakji. Now, Ellakji are those male munis who have who wear one cloth, one leon cloth, okay, one cotton cloth, and they also carry kamandal, and we say Vandami again to them. So to munis we say Namostu, to the Arika Mataji, and to the Ellakji we say Vandami, and then the fourth one in the Chaturvid Sang are Shullak and Shullikas. Okay, they are Shullaks are those male sadhus who wear two clothes. How many clothes? Two clothes. They are on their path to become Digambar Muni. Okay, going Muni. Okay, so what do we say to them? Whenever we meet them, we see them, we bow our head and we say Ichhami. What do we say? Ichhami. And always these words are said in a triplet, right? So when we meet Muni, we say Namostu, Namostu, Namostu. When we meet Mataji, that is Arika Mataji, we say Vandami, Vandami, Vandami. Same for the Ellaks. Vandami, Vandami, Vandami. And then to the Shullaks, we say Ichhami, Ichhami, Ichhami. Okay? So that's the order of things. So that's about a brief introduction of what we covered in the last class. Not full, but I just thought you guys are new. So I thought I will give this one to you. Okay. So now let's start the class. Now, this is the first story is about a Muni, that is a Digambar Muni, that is one who is fully naked, one who carries a kamandal and pichi. That's what you will notice. Okay. And this is about the abstraction of knowledge, right? So sometimes we have this, right? You want to remember something and you are not able to remember it. And you're like, hey, I know this. My teacher told me this. My mom told me this, but I am not able to remember it. That's because of your past karma. Sometimes you have done in your this life or past life, you know, obstructed somebody gaining some knowledge. Okay. Because of that, now you have this thing happening with you, and we call it Jnana Varani Karma. So this Muniji, Shiv Bhuti Muni, also had the fruition of his Jnana Varni Karma, obstructing knowledge, obstructing karma, because of which he was not able to remember anything. Still, remember, because he was strong on his charitra, on his conduct, and he kept following his guru's instruction, the knowledge occurred to him at the right time. This is story about how that knowledge occurred to him and how he attained Keval Gyan. Okay? So don't get disheartened if you are not able to remember things. Try your best, stay strong on your Jain conduct, and surely the knowledge will happen to you. Okay, so let me start the story.
Hey kids, look, where is Muniraj going in this dense forest? He is reciting something too. Let's try to listen. What is he reciting? Tushmash Pinnam. Tushmash Pinnam. What is he saying?
Tush Mash Bhinnam. Repeat after me. What is he saying? And it's actually wrong what he's saying. It is Tush Mash Bhinnam. Okay? That's the wrong thing that he's saying.
What is the meaning of these words? Let's try to find out about Muniraj. His name is Shiv Bhuti Muniraj. Once, he got detached from the materialistic world and turned into a monk under a guru's tutelage. But Muniraj's memory was very poor. He couldn't remember anything that was taught to him in his class. Doesn't that happen with us too? We try to learn some lessons multiple times. Still, we fail to remember them. Do you know why we lack knowledge? There are four reasons why. 1. If in the past we felt jealous of someone's knowledge.
One,
2. If we have refrained from
two,
sharing our knowledge with others. 3. If we have
three,
created obstacles for others who were trying to gain knowledge due to competition. Or 4. If we have disrespected a knowledgeable person.
four
Yes,
reasons.
same thing happened with Muniraj too. He could not remember anything taught by his guru. One day, his guru taught him Ma Rush Ma Tush, which means do not have Rosh, meaning
Okay, what is it? Ma Rush. Ma Tush. And what did he remember from it? Tushmash. So that's where his knowledge got, jumbled up. Okay. So what did his guru teach him? Remember this. Ma Rush. Ma Tush. Okay. Let's go forward.
to not have anger and grudges, and not have Dosh, meaning to not have attachment towards anything or anyone. Muniraj could not remember this small phrase. He tried hard to remember these two set of words. However, he could only recall two words incorrectly, tush and mash. So he kept on repeating tush, mash, tush, mash wherever he went. One day, he was passing through a small village, reciting the words tush, mash. He saw a woman there. She was cleaning black gram lentil while removing the outer peel of the lentil. At that moment, another woman reached there and asked her, "What are you doing?" The lady replied, "I am separating tush from mash. Tush means peel and mash means lentil." She was separating the peels from the lentils. Listening to this conversation, Muniraj recollected and understood the lesson taught by his guru. He understood the true meaning of tush mash, that body is like tush, peel, and soul is like mash, lentil, and these two are separate entities. Just like the lentil is different from its peel, our body is different from our soul. Now he started practicing strong penance in the forest and started experiencing the pure nature of the soul. Knowing that the soul is pure entity, he became engrossed in deep meditation and destroyed his four ghati karmas and attained Keval Gyan. Did you see? The Muniraj was not even able to remember a few words at a time, learned the true and pure nature of the soul for his welfare. So, would you all meditate for the purity of the soul and become God too? Jai Jinendra.
Okay, Riona and Manit. I think you heard the story full, right? Were you able to comprehend what was being taught in the story based on the introduction I gave, right? So you saw how Muni Shivabhuti, remember the name? What's his name? Riona, what's the name of the Muni?
Shivabhuti.
Shivabhuti, yes. And he was a Muni. You saw him, carrying that kamandal and the pichi, right? And he was naked, right? So that's the sign of a Jain Muni, Jain Digambar Muni. They always have this kind of conduct, this kind of vesh. Okay, so now, what was he reciting, Manit? Can you tell me what was he actually reciting? Manit, you there? Yeah.
Tushmash.
Yes, Tushmash and Tushmash. Was it correct, Manit? Was it a correct thing that he was reciting?
No.
No. Yes. So, Ishna, what was the correct thing that he should have recited? Do you remember? Ma, Ma, Rush. Marush means no, don't do anger, and matush means don't do rag, right? No anger and no attachment. Rag means attachment. That's what his guru taught him. What did he say? Repeat after me. Ma, rush, ma, tush. Okay, instead of that, what did he say? Tushmash. And he kept reciting that, which is wrong, uh, phrase. But still, when he reached the village, he saw those women. And by the way, mash is a dal. Okay, it's a dal, mash ki dal. In some parts of India, they consume a lot of mash ki dal. Okay, so these women from village, like simple women from village, were actually dehusking that dal. Okay, they were separating the husk from the dal. So husk is tush and mash is dal. So when Shivbhuti Muni saw that, he because he was such a pious Muni, he was on his conduct, although he has Gyanavarni Karm, but just recollected, hey, what it is telling me is, what my Guru told me is, the tush and mash are separate. That is, the body and the soul are separate. As soon as he had realization of that, he attained Keval Gyan, and he moved to moksha. So in spite of the fact that he had jnana varni karma, and he was not reciting the right sentences, still, because his conduct was right, he ultimately attained keval gyan. That is the moral of the story. Okay, so that's the story. Now I will quickly jump on the quiz and take you through it once. That way you understand what I told you, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so let's see where it takes us. Okay, so here are some questions. Okay, which Muniraj is this story about, Riona?
Shivabhuti.
Very good. So it's Shivbhuti. Okay, what words were Muniraj speaking while going, Ishna? Tush mash bin. Yes. Okay, that's what he was saying. Tush mash means tush and mash. That's the husk of the dal. Mash is the
Yeah.
dal, and bhin means they are separate. Okay, that's the what he was actually saying, which is wrong, which is not what his guru taught him. Okay, which could be the reason behind our lack of knowledge? What are the four reasons? In the story they talked about the four reasons why there is abstraction of knowledge. Okay, so first one is, if we have been jealous of a knowledgeable person, be in a class or outside, if we have disrespected a knowledgeable person like our teachers, our parents, or
B.
any, okay, if we have abstracted someone from gaining knowledge, that way all these three answers are correct, right? So the option 4, which says all the above, is the right answer. Okay, got it, Manit? Right? What could be the reason behind the lack of knowledge? All the three, A, B, and C. That is number D, all the above. Okay. Now, next one. What lesson did Muniraj Acharya Shri teach him? What did Muniraj Acharya Shri teach him?
A.
A. Yes, actually, Marush Matush in that order. Matush. Okay, fine. Okay, good job. A is the answer. What meaning did Acharya Shri tell of Marush? Okay, what did the Acharya of Muni Shivbhuti told him of Ma Rush? What does don't have Rosh? That is, don't have anger. Rosh means anger. Okay, and the meaning of the next question, what meaning did Acharya Shri tell of Ma Tush? Ma Tush is don't have rag, don't have attachment. Okay, that's the one. Don't have attachment. Okay, next one. When Muniraj saw the woman separating the peels from the pulses in the village, what did he conclude from it? What did he conclude from it? When he saw Ishna, do you know? What did he
Audience.
conclude? Yes, go ahead, Manit. Go ahead. Yeah, you are on right track. Go ahead.
Body and soul are different.
Body and soul are different. What are they? Different. Yes, good job, Manik. Okay, next one. What did Muniraj get from meditating on the soul? So, what happened when he had this realization and he started meditating on the soul and not his body? What did he gain?
Absolute knowledge.
Exactly. That is Keval. What did he gain? Good job. Keval Gyan. Okay. The last question. What did you learn from the story? Our feelings are more important than knowledge. We need to share the knowledge we have, should respect the knowledgeable person. So, in that way, all the three. Okay. Okay. So that's the quiz, that one of the quizzes. So let's quickly move on to the next part of the lesson, where again we have another story. Yay! One more story to go, and this is story about a bandit and pandit. So here the moral of the story that you should gain out of it is the company, right? The company we keep defines us. Okay, we are known for our company. Okay, so let's go through the story now. Here it is.
Judging kids. Let's hear a very interesting inspirational story. Story title Bandit or Pandit. Once a king was traveling through a forest. There was a hideaway spot for bandits in the forest. When the king's convoy was passing through there, he heard a sound of a parrot. Kill them! Loot them! The king was shocked to hear that from a parrot. He was irritated but continued to travel. After a while, he reached a saint's ashram and saw another parrot at the door. The parrot greeted the king very sweetly. Welcome, welcome. Be our guest. The king was amazed to hear that. Hearing the parrot's
Oh, wait a
greeting,
minute.
the saint came out and welcomed the king. The saint then offered the king some fruits and vegetables from his garden. The king couldn't stop himself asking the saint, "Oh sage, how can two parrots from the same species, same genus, and same origin be so different? One I saw on my way was using swear words, and this one welcomed me with warm words." The saint said, "It is not the fault of parrots, but of those who raised them. In fact, they both were born to the same mother, but one was raised by bandits and the other by saints." So, kids, similarly, we imbibe virtues and good qualities if we are in good company of knowledgeable and great people, and we imbibe vices if we are in bad company of evil people. Jai Jinendra!
Okay, Riona.
Jai Jinendra, kids!
Wait a minute.
Let's
Wait a minute. Sorry. Okay, so this is story about Bandit and Pandit, right? So two parrots. Remember, one raised by the bandits, right? Dakus, and
What's
that's
a
why
bandit?
bandit is like a thief,
Uh-huh.
loot who loot people who earn their livelihood by looting people. Okay, they are like
Yeah.
the wild west, bandits basically. Okay, so those the parrot raised by the bandit, of course, said, "Hey, catch them, loot them, right? Maro, maro, pakdo, pakdo, maro, maro." Okay, while the parrot, who was raised by the sadhus, said, "Oh, well, king, welcome. You are welcome here. Oh, king, you are welcome here." Right? So that's the story. So ultimately, how did the sadhu explain it to the king? He said, "Hey, it's all about company you keep. You may be born to the same type of parents, but one, because of your company, you may turn around. That's why always remember, Riona and Ashna, that you have to keep good company. Always strive for good company, because good company will keep you on the path, okay? Path of learning and salvation. So keep that in mind, okay? So let's see if there is another quiz around that, and if there is, we'll quickly do that as well. Okay,
I
let's
think
see.
there is.
There is a quiz, yes, Riona. So let's see. And we did lose Manit for some good reason. I'm not waiting for now, but you know, maybe he has some technical difficulties. So that's fine. Okay. What did the first parrot say to the king and his convoy? Remember, this is the parrot that was with the thieves, that the bandits. So what did he
Yeah.
say? What did he say? Go ahead, Riona.
Kill them, loot them.
Yes. What did they say?
Kill them, loot
Maro, maro, luto, luto. Okay. Now, Eshna, what did the second parrot say to the king and his convoy? You can read.
welcome.
Yes. So that's which option?
Welcome your guests.
Yes. Good job. Swagatam, suswagatam. Repeat after me. Swagatam,
Swagatam.
suswagatam. Yes. Yes. That's like welcome, most welcome. Okay. Now, what did the king ask the saint?
The he asked him, how can two birds of the same species be so different?
Absolutely. That was one thing. Did he also ask, where did you get these parrots from? No, right?
No.
No. So he did. Right. So that's the option A. Okay. Now, what did the saint reply to the king? Okay.
But
Krishna, Krishna.
he replied, the the fault was of the person who the parents were with. Like the
Okay.
other
Got it.
which said
So which option is that?
it's it is
B.
B.
Okay. Good. Good job. B. Right. It's fault of the person who raised them. Okay.
Like the bandit.
Yes. Or the sadhus. What do we learn from the story?
Uh, mm,
We imbibe virtues and good qualities if we are in good company, of course.
yeah.
Right? We
The
imbibe vices.
advice
Vices
is
means
if
bad behavior. If we are in
yeah,
bad company, we should be
yeah,
mindful of our company.
our company. All
So
of the
that is
bubble.
all of the above. Yes, Riona, good job. So that's that, right? Now, remember, there are, apart from this, in your classwork, you will also find back on the story of Shivbhuti a couple of, puzzles. Okay. So the first puzzle is
Oh,
interesting one. When you will click this, yeah. So this puzzle, there are three puzzles. Okay. Oh, wait, this is not coming up, which is fine. I have it open somewhere. So let's see. There's some access issue. No worries. Yeah. Okay. Wait. So the puzzle is out there is, it's just to find the right phrase between Tushmash Bhin and Marush Matush. You have to find out the right word from that and mark it around. Okay. The next puzzle is about matching the words, right? So, like, what does Marush means? What does Matush means? What does Tush means? And what does Mash means, right? So, Tush means the peel, the husk, and Mash means the dal, right? And Marush means don't do rosh, that is anger. And Matush means don't do rag, that is attachment. Okay, so just remember these things and that will help you to solve the puzzles. Okay, and yeah, the last one is easy, you can do it your own. Just uh, it's about how Muni can get to the salvation, to Keval Gyan. So it's a easy one. Okay, now let's quickly, we have some time left. So we will do another thing which is Aarti today. You know what is an Aarti? Ishna and Riona? Mhm. Aarti is about, it's a praise song for something or someone. Panch Parmeshti Aarti is a praise song for the, as the name says, Panch Parmeshti. You know what
Yeah.
are the Panch Parmeshtis?
Yeah. Think so.
And Sad, right? But in this Panch Parmeshti Aarti, there are many Panch Parmeshti Aartis. Okay, the one that we are going to learn about, it obviously is about the Panch Parmeshti. Then it also has the Jinwani and the Pratima Dharis who we are praising. Okay, so let's listen to this Aarti quickly, and then we will you will also go through the meaning of that Aarti. Okay, and remember, Riona, there is a niyam sheet at the end. Somehow I'm not able to open it, but you will be able to open it. Okay, and that niyam sheet is, you have to print it and take a niyam. You know what is a niyam, right? It's a
Do
vow
you
for a day. Like,
can we do we have to print it because
you have to actually print it, yes, and you have to do it, and then you have to submit it back. So as part of your assignment, you have to do it. Okay,
uh,
so let's start with the Panch Parmeshti Aarti.
Jai Jain children. Today we will listen to Panch Parmeshti Aarti and later we will understand its essence.
इह विधि मंगल आरती कीजे, पंच परम पद भज सुख लीजे। इह विधि मंगल आरती कीजे, पंच परम पद भज सुख लीजे। पहली आरती श्री जिन राजा, भव दधि पार उतार जिहाजा। पहली आरती श्री जिन राजा, भव दधि पार उतार जिहाजा। इह विधि मंगल आरती कीजे, पंच परम पद भज सुख लीजे। दूसरी आरती से धन केरी, सुमिरन करत मिटे भव तेरी। दूसरी आरती से धन केरी, सुमिरन करत मिटे भव तेरी। तीजी आरती सूर मुनिंदा, जन्म मरण दुख दूर करिंदा। तीजी आरती सूर मुनिंदा, जन्म मरण दुख दूर करिंदा। इह विधि मंगल आरती कीजे, पंच परम पद भज सुख लीजे। चौथी आरती श्री उठाया, दर्शन देखत पाप पलाया। चौथी आरती श्री उठाया, दर्शन देखत पाप पलाया। पांचवी आरती साधु तिहारी, कुमति विनाशन शिव अधिकारी। पांचवी आरती साधु तिहारी, कुमति विनाशन शिव अधिकारी। विधि मंगल आरती कीजे, पंच परम पद भज सुख लीजे। छठी ग्यारह प्रतिमाधारी, श्रावक बंदो आनंदकारी। छठी ग्यारह प्रतिमाधारी, श्रावक बंदो आनंदकारी।
Nandapare.
सातवीं आरती श्री जिनवाणी ध्यानत स्वर्ग मुक्ति सुख नानी सातवीं आरती श्री जिनवाणी ध्यानत स्वर्ग मुक्ति सुख
मुक्ति के
नानी
बाद
इह विधि मंगल आरती
भारत
कीजे
की जय।
पंच परम पद भज सुख
Little
लीजे
baby,
संध्या
little
करके
baby,
आरती कीजे अपनो
अपनों
जन्म
के
सफल
मन
कर
सफर के रीच संधि
आरती कीजे
रीच
अपनो
अपनों जन्म सफल के रीच
कोई आरती करे करावे सो नर नारी अमर पद
पद
पावे जो कोई आरती करे करावे सो नर नारी अमर पद
हमारे पद
पावे इस विधि मंगल आरती कीजे पंच परम पद भज सुख लीजे Now, let's understand the essence of Panch Parmeshti Aarti. The auspicious Aarti of Panch Parmeshti gives us the happiness and satisfaction of praying and praising our five Parmeshtis Arihant, Siddha, Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhu, that is, saints. First Aarti is of Janraj or Arihant Bhagwan, who guides us to sail the seas of birth and death and end our sufferings. Second Aarti is of Siddha Bhagwan. Their just recollection destroys the sorrows of many births. Third Aarti is of Acharya Maharaj, who shows us the path to free ourselves from the suffering of life and death and help us to attain enlightenment. Fourth Aarti is for the Upadhyay ji, whose just the auspicious presence, just a sight, is enough to destroy all our sins. Fifth Aarti is for all the sadhu, all the Muniraj practicing right conduct. They help us get rid of our false beliefs and show us the right path towards moksha. Sixth Aarti is for all who have embraced Gyara Pratima and whose prayers and good conduct give pleasure to Shravak, that are householders. Seventh Aarti we perform of Sri Jinvani or the teachings of Arihanta. By just contemplating those teachings, we can reap the pleasure of heaven and finally attain liberation. We all should perform and sing this arti of Panch Parmeshti or five Parmeshti every day to lead a blissful life. All the men and women who read and sing this auspicious arti of Panch Parmeshti will certainly attain our final goal, moksha, one day.
Okay, so now you know meaning of the Panch Parmeshti Aarti, right, Riona? Right,
yeah.
Eshna? Right. Yes. So it talks about the Panch Parmeshti, but then not just that. Panch Parmeshti, the five, then the Gyara Pratimadhari, six, the Jinwani, which is our, teachings, the scriptures,
Yeah.
the book that we read, the holy books, right? So that's Jinwani, the voice of Arihanta, right? So that's number seven. And that's why it although it's called as Panch Parmeshti Aarti, it has seven things we are praising. Okay, some Panch Parmeshti Aartis you will only find five. Okay, but that's okay. So always try to see what Panch Parmeshti Aarti you are reading, and then whenever you read it, now you know the meaning, right? So as you go through the stanzas of Panch Parmeshti Aarti, pay attention. Okay, so that's the goal. So now I think more or less we have covered most of the things from the class. We are not doing Bhavna Yog today. But one more thing that can get you some extra points, Riona, and that's a fun puzzle at the end. Okay. Now this is bonus points. You can get extra points with this. Okay. What this is about is it's a revision of what you learned in level 1. I'm sure you remember the Mahavir Bhagwan Arghya from the level 1 class. If you do remember, it's all about jumbling the words to form the right sentence, okay, of the Mahavir Bhagwan Arghya. Okay, so we'll not do it here, but if you want extra points, then probably you can attempt it. Okay, got it? So, any questions, Riona, on the lecture that we have today? If not, then we can probably wrap this class up. No questions. That's awesome. That's not bad. Okay, guys. Thank you. Jai Jinendra to you.
Jai Jinan.
Let's end with Navkar Mantra. नमो अरिहंताणं नमो सिद्धाणं नमो आयर्याणं नमो उवज्जायाणं नमो लोये सवसाहुणं ऐसो पञ्चणमौकारो सवपावपणाशनौ मङ्गलाणं च सव्वेसिं पढमं होवै Mangalam. Jai Jinendra. Jai Jinendra to all. Thank you for joining the class today. Thank you, Riona. Thank you, Manit. Thank you, Ishna. Bye for now.